Hey guys, Jason Spitzer here, wanting to do another video on my Ruger LCP firearm 380, the NRA edition. Okay, I want to show you guys how to disassemble it. They recommend you use a key or a screwdriver or a shell casing. And I find that if you use a 38 special shell casing, that it works out better. Some people say use the rim of the shell casing, but that's too wide. Some people say use the rim of the tip of it, which that's what I use. And what I do is, of course, if it's unloaded, I just put my finger through here. So I'm going to show you like this. I put my finger through the gun trigger guard in the front, and then what I do is I kind of push with my thumb just a little bit. Okay. Then I take the shell casing and put it right on the tip of that pin right there, and I just pull back and it pops right out. And then I just take it the rest of the way and I pull it. Now make sure you set this pin somewhere where you won't lose it, because it's very easy to lose. Then you release the tension off and you just pull and push, or however you want, the barrel off. Okay? The barrel and the slide. And that's the inside guts of the gun. Very, very light, very hollow, very easy to see in there. Not a lot going on in there. There is, but not a lot that you really see. And then this is the slide of the gun. And here you can see it's, got the nice little mark that's synonymous with automatic guns, semi-automatic guns. And there's the firing pin and everything. And for a time I had a problem with this gun because I thought, well, did I reassemble the spring properly? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I like to push down on the barrel like this and use my other finger and guide it up, because the barrel sometimes wants to go with the spring when you take it out. Now these again is three pieces that you need to be very careful so you don't lose them. You have your guide rod, which is metallic, and then you have a inner spring that's small with a tapered end that tapers outward, so it's got a bigger head. And then you got your outer spring, which is big, but if you watch as I reassemble this, how the head eventually stops, because it's the same width of the small spring. You don't want to bend these springs, you don't want to try to get them broken. We're going to set that aside. Then to get your barrel out, you just do it like you would do any normal automatic. You would press up, then you would push forward, and then you would back it all the way out. And there's your barrel. Comparison to other barrels, that's a very tiny barrel. I haven't cleaned this gun much after I shot it, but there you go. And that's the barrel, and then this is the empty slide. And you can see if I push on firing pin, which let's see if I can do that. No, very stiff, I'm not going to. But basically, if you were to push on the firing pin, you could see it protruding out. And there's the extractor, which is right there. And there's the slide. Reassembly of the gun is just the reverse. You slap it in, then you just push, and then now you need to get your guide rod and your firing pin back together. Now, one of the things that a lot of people will go crazy about is if you look very closely and you see that this pin has kind of been worn a little bit, and if you look, there's a little bit of a channel right there. That is from the wear and tear of the gun. So once you get your springs assembled, then you place your guide rod back in. You want to have the smallest edge, it's the tapered inner spring facing away from the gun, facing away. And you just want to take and be very careful, because again, this is this tiny gun but under a lot of tolerances. Stick the spring into there, into the guide rod and the spring assembly hole at the front of the slide. Push it forward until it gets into that little slot. And unlike Glock and other guns, all you really need to do to get this back on is you just need to just line it up. There's no precise timing or lining or anything. And before I've lined this up, let me show you one thing. If you see, I don't know if you can see it, but you see that piece moving? That is a part of the long trigger pull safety right there. That is a, it's almost like a triangle that the firing mechanism has to rotate in, and it causes it to have a long trigger pull. But just bring it back. Again, put your finger in the trigger guard and push a little bit on there. Take the firing pin, the reassembly pin, and don't push it straight in. Kind of do one of these motions where you push it at an angle, push down, and then guide it in. So it's going to be hard for you to see. But and then push. And I usually dry fire it and get it so that it functions. That's all I have to say about that.